Hi, YouTube.
So Brittany's actually starting off here with a lat pull down. You want to give us one or two tips that you like to think about when doing a lat pull down?
Well, don't go too wide because you don't want to limit your range of motion.
Okay. And
let's say you want to start the movement with your lat and then pull through your elbows.
Okay.
That's my
All right. Those are her two tips. So the first thing she said was, don't go too wide. Now you see a lot of people who think wide grip equals a wide back. If she was to move her hands out more, really trying to focus on the lats, what would happen is she wouldn't be able to come down as far and she wouldn't be able to get a full contraction in the lats. So not going too wide will help you get a greater range of motion. The other thing she said was start the movement with your lats. So think about tensing your lats before you even pull that weight down, and then pull through your elbows was the next thing that she said. So her hands right now are acting as hooks. They're just there to hold on to the bar, but not being used to pull that weight down. So really focus on pulling through the elbows and squeezing the lats. All right, so for a pull-up, the way I'm doing them, not a chin-up, so pull-up, pronated grip, overhand, is the same cues are going to apply as how Brittany did on the lat pull-down. So this is what happens when you go too wide. Come closer. If I was to grab out here and try and do a pull-up, that's my range of motion. If I bring my hands in, that's my range of motion. So I'm able to get a way better contraction in my lats by coming all the way down. So again, pull through the elbows, squeeze the lats, and don't go too wide. What's going on, everyone? So I might jump in and out here and there to give some extra tips I've been thinking about. And as far as a lat pull down, a pull up, a chin up, any of these exercises go, grip width is going to be based on individual preferences and what you feel comfortable with. So just find a grip width that's comfortable for you, that allows you to hit the muscle you're trying to hit and allows you to make progress. So the reason I like just outside of shoulder is, if you can see right here at the top, my forearm is pretty much vertical and my wrists and elbows are aligned. And this is what happened to be comfortable for me. Now, every single pull-up I do won't look exactly like this, but I've noticed that this grip width allows me to get a full range of motion and really feel my back working. Now we're on a hammer strength high row machine. So I like to just grab a supinated grip. You could do one arm, you could do two arms. The same rules apply for all back movements. Initiate the movement with your back, pull through your elbows, and use your hands as hooks. So if you go up here and squeeze this as hard as you can, naturally your bicep is gonna start to flex when you're pulling, and you're gonna use your bicep to help pull that weight. Now biceps are obviously a secondary muscle when you're pulling, but the goal is to use as much back as possible. So I like to just barely hold on, using just right here, my fingertips, hold like this, and I like to use a thumbless grip, so that means my thumb is not wrapped around. I like to do it like this. It helps me think about concentrating on my back a bit more. And on a machine like this, there are two different ways to perform it. Now, you can perform it like this, leaning back, or you can scoot to the back of the bench, put your chest forward, and think about pulling this way. So it will activate different parts of your back. Find what's most comfortable for you, or use both. It's not one way to train, guys. You have to figure out what allows you to hit the muscle that you're trying to work. So I'm just gonna do regular. Think about driving my chest forward. So I'm pushing my chest into this pad and pulling that way. All right, so first set, I was scooted back on the seat like this, leaning forward and pulling this way. Now next set, I'm actually going to lean back slightly and pull like this, squeezing the middle of my back. So as with any other exercise, just find out what's most comfortable for you. And especially with the back, it's one of those muscle groups that needs to be hit from multiple angles. And you'll notice when you step into any gym, there are hammer strength machines, high rows, low rows, people doing barbell rows, dumbbell rows, cable rows. Then you have pull-ups, chin-ups, lat pull-down, and on top of that, you have a whole bunch of different handles you can use. So you have wide grip, neutral grip, close grip, underhand, overhand, and the reason is because the back is such a big muscle and needs to be hit from different angles in order to get a fully developed back. So moving on, we hit a superset, and this is just a single arm, straight arm pull down. You've probably seen this done with both arms at the same time. Really good exercise for the lats to get a full stretch, and I like to do some unilateral back work, so doing one arm at a time. And the purpose of doing this before our seated cable row is we wanted to pre-exhaust our lats. This way they wouldn't take over, because the lats are a big muscle and they're heavily involved in a lot of pulling movements. But the goal of our seated cable row is to try and focus on a bit more of the mid back. So notice how Brittany is flaring her elbows out more, trying to squeeze the middle of her back, and the lats were already fatigued from the previous exercise, so that was the purpose behind doing this superset. Keep in mind with this exercise, these single arm straight arm pull downs, this can be used as a great warm up as a lat activation technique also. For those people who never really feel their lats working during certain exercises, try this out and I really think it will help you get that mind to muscle connection with your lats. So this was the handle that Brittany was using, just because this one is a little too wide and uncomfortable for her. So I'm going to be using this, because when it comes to a seated row, when you go wider, you're able to squeeze the middle of your back more. Whereas if you were to go too narrow and your elbows were really close to your body, it'd be a lot more lats and you'd be limiting yourself right here. If you go wider, you can pull back a little bit further and really target the middle of your back.
I think go for it. He's all, dude, he mentioned it. He's like, yo, you should get on like, don't time one. He's like, you should get on
So the next exercise was face pulls using a rope attachment, and I really like this exercise to focus on hitting rear delts and also working on shoulder external rotation to help with posture. So it's not the only thing I do for rear delts, but I have found it to be a great exercise. And a few things to keep in mind when doing face pulls. One is to avoid going too heavy. Two are keep the elbows up. So if you're using the rope, think about pulling that rope back and out. And lastly, hold the contraction for at least 1 second. And that will help you get the most out of this exercise. There you go. She put on the track jacket to hide the guns. No, it's like doors open out here because it's in the 50s in New York and that's considered very warm for December. So she caught a chill. So to finish up the pull workout, we hit some biceps. Now, I mentioned in a previous video that I was going to be restructuring my training. So you'll see me doing a few different things, messing with supersets, incorporating some exercises that I don't always do. So that hammer strength preacher curl machine, and then this superset right here where I was doing a dumbbell hammer curl, focusing on pausing at the top for a second. And I superset that with an easy bar reverse curl. So that will work on different parts of the biceps, such as the brachioradialis and also your forearms. So there's a whole bunch of things I want to work on moving forward with this bulk. I did quotes when I did that bulk thing, just because, you know, I'm not going all out dirty bulk. I'm not trying to get fat, but I really want to optimize my training and get the most out of what I'm going to do in the next few months. So as always, I'll keep you guys posted with what's going on with that. Thank you as always for watching and enjoy the rest of the video. How was your workout? Good. We're going into left aid right now. We have to pick up a few things real quick. Heading over to post office. If anyone's curious, yes, I do have a PO box. It's always linked in the description box of all my videos. And I love mail. That's the wrong one. This is all junk mail. I don't want this stuff. I think these 3 vets are setting up to race. Whoop! They ain't got nothing on me! Woo! I just showered, and now I'm making myself some dinner. Britt's over here making some cheddar mashed potatoes or something. I'm going to make a stir fry, so steak stir fry. We got this chuck tender steak, which we got at Target, and the macros are really good on this. It's a lean cut, so this one right here, that's 1 serving, and that is 6 grams of fat and 24 grams of protein. So, stop that. So we're gonna do rice, steak, cashews, mushrooms, asparagus, and low sodium soy sauce. So after I cut it up and put it together, I'll show you how that looks. So we got the ingredients weighed out, laid out, and ready to go. They're gonna go in that electric scale in just a second, but I wanted to show you guys something with prepackaged foods like this. They're not always 100% accurate. So this says, if you look on the back, that it's 140 grams and there's 2 servings per container. So I'm using this whole container, which means it should be 280 grams if I weigh it out. So we just took it out of the microwave. We're gonna test and see how accurate it really is. We'll put the whole bag in. 240. So again, it should be 280. We get 240, so what do you do about that? We are going to scan this in to MyFitnessPal. So it shows up Uncle Ben's Ready Pack. We're doing one container, so we're using the whole thing. But since the serving size was off, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna open up the calculator. We got 240. This is saying the whole container should be 280. So we're gonna take 240 divided by 280, and we get 0.857. So that's what we're going to enter for the number of servings. Instead of 1, it's 0.857. 343 calories instead of 400. 68 carbs instead of 80. So it's not that much of a difference, but if you consistently eat prepackaged foods, just know that the weight is not always going to be accurate. So once you have the skillet preheated and hot, we're gonna go ahead and add the asparagus, the mushrooms, and the cashews first. Let these toast up a little, draw some water out of these, and then we'll add the steak last, since it is cut up very small and very lean steak, so it will cook quick, and you don't want to overcook it because then it will get too chewy. So I'm gonna throw all this in, and then we'll add the steak at the end.
That sizzle though.
All right, so that'll take about 2 minutes tops, and then we'll throw the steak. And the rice is already cooked because it came right out of the microwave, so we'll just toss it in to warm it up at the end. All right, so the meal is done. This is a steak stir fry. Just showing you guys this because it's really not that hard to cook and to make food taste good and hit your macros. So this bowl right here is around 700 calories or so. I used that package of rice, threw some vegetables in there, threw steak in there. You can obviously do this with chicken or turkey or ground beef or anything that you really want, and throw any kinds of vegetables, whatever you want in there to make it fit your macros and your taste preference, right?
Yeah, good sesame oil, sesame seeds. You could do, what was I telling you to do before? Peppers. You could crack an egg in it to make it like fried rice.
What else? Ice cream?
Bean sprouts.
Ice cream goes good in anything.
Right.
What are those other things? Those shoots, bamboo shoots.
And we are going to end the video on bamboo shoots. So I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and just a heads up about my online coaching. If you are interested in working together, I am opening a few spots as the new year approaches. This is fully customized, so you get unlimited support. We do your macros training and cardio, all customized to your goals and preferences, and we make sure to stay in contact and keep that open line of communication along the way. So if you are interested in working together, you can click to apply on my website, or you can simply email me, Matty@FusaroFitness.com, with any questions you might have. So thanks as always for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you in the next video.